Hey guys, Chris from Hockey Tutorial here. So today we're going to be doing a video comparison between Bauer's old top-end skate from the Supreme line and the current one that's just been launched. So it's going to be the NXG versus the MX3. We're going to be taking a look at what Bauer have changed, of course what you can expect from the new skate, and most importantly where you guys will be able to pick it up. So the way that we're going to begin this video is working our way from the bottom of the skate all the way up to the top. Taking a look at the runner that you get with the NXGs, this is the Tuke LS Fusion runner, and what this runner brings to the game is that it's a mix of high-grade stainless steel and aluminium mixed together, which reduces the overall weight of the runner by 27%. This is the exact same runner that you'll expect to find on the new MX3, but when we take a look at the holders, that's when things start to get a bit more interesting. The old holder that was featured on the NXG was the Tuke Lightspeed 2 holder, but taking a look at the MX3, Bauer have gone ahead and added the Tuke Lightspeed Edge holder. The main difference between these, if you're taking a look at them from the outside, the first thing you'll notice will be this trigger system that they've added over here. What this allows you to do is to change or snap out your steel in a matter of seconds. So if you lose an edge during a game or you break a steel, you're able to change it out in a matter of seconds. It means that you can still stay in the game, which is definitely something that every hockey player is going to want to have. Another thing that they've changed with the new Lightspeed Edge holder is that they've increased the height of this holder by 3 millimeters. What that does is it gives you a greater angle of attack while you're on the ice and will improve your general maneuverability. So that's definitely something that I'd like to see, and this is also currently the holder that I'm using myself. So from there, taking a look at the outsole that both of these skates have. Now this is an area that hasn't been changed too much, so we're going to breeze over it fairly quickly. This is a fully composite outsole. It's the exact same sort of thing that you'll be able to find on the previous NXG skate, as well as the one I've got here, which is the MX3. It also features these 4 perforations or holes that you can see, which are the exhaust system. The way that works, along with the moisture management system inside the liners of this skate, it filters any moisture and excess water that enters the skate and out through these perforations over here, keeping you dry, but most importantly keeping you comfortable. From there, we'll take a look at the quarter package, which is the overall structure of the skate, this area over here, where we'll be able to find some of the other changes that Bauer have made. The quarter package on these skates features Bauer's Supreme's renowned or famous curved composite, which provides a much more comfortable fit and a much more responsive skate. Through thermoforming or skate baking, these materials over here from the curved composite are allowed to be heated up, which softens them. You then put the skate on. What happens then is, because all of these materials are nice and soft, they then take to the shape of your foot and allow the wearer to get a full 360-degree custom fit. Most importantly, that will increase or speed up the break-in time of these skates, meaning that they'll be much more comfortable on the ice much quicker, but it'll reduce any negative space that appears inside the skate. So that's any space inside the boot that's not necessary, meaning that any movement that your feet make is transferred directly onto that fully composite outsole and directly onto that blade, which is what makes these skates so responsive. From there, another area that's been changed with the new skates, the MX3s versus the NXGs, is going to be the lacing system that we can find on these skates. The previous skates over here, the NXGs, used a more classic construction where several pieces are glued and stitched together to create different areas of the skate. Moving on to the MX3s, they're using something that we saw first on the APX skates. If you want to see a video of that, there'll be a link down to the side over there and also down below in the video description. But this is the new injected stability lacing system. Now the first thing that this thing does, it allows an increase in forward flex that you're able to get inside these skates, which is definitely going to be a plus. It also improves the overall comfort, and a new thing that they've added to these skates that they've tweaked from the previous injected stability lacing system that we saw was the fact that they've added integrated lace locking eyelets. This is something that's new to me that I've not seen before, and the way that works is that when you pull your laces nice and tight, they're going to stay where you've pulled them to. They're not going to get wrapped back and retract straight back into the skate, making it very difficult to get a nice snug fit. So it's excellent to see that they've added this new feature onto these new MX3 skates. So now taking a look at the front of the skates, particularly the tongues in this case. One of the things that we saw Bauer introduce not too long ago was the 3 flex tongues. What this is effectively curved composite inserts that sit in the front of the tongue over here that allow the player to customize the flex and performance of their individual tongues. These curved composite inserts act like a springboard. As the player or the skater flexes forward inside the skates, it responds back and lets the skate spring back. So it's great for improving your overall responsiveness and speed and also agility on the ice. But what they did do, as they've kept this feature and moved it onto the MX3, some of the changes that they've made includes beefing up and improving the durability and performance of these curved composite inserts. They've made them much thicker and a lot more durable to combat any issues that might have existed on the older line of skates. So it's good to see that they've made some improvements and they're listening to customer feedback. In terms of the choices of tongues that you get, Bauer offer you 3 different types. You get mid, stiff and extra stiff. So depending on what sort of flex you prefer to have, you have the choice of those three. Taking a look at how they've sort of tweaked the design of the actual curved composite insert, you can see that this one over here, which is featured in the MX3, has sort of a separation between these 2 points over here. It's not just one piece. It's separated, which allows for a bit more flexibility in movement. Taking a look at these ones over here that were featured in the NXG, you can see that these curved composite inserts are technically all one piece. There's no flexibility or sort of break in between these, allowing them to move independently. So now taking a look at the back of these skates, specifically the tendon guard over here. Now what this is called, Bauer use what they call a free flex tendon guard, which is designed to allow each player to maximise on the amount of range of motion they get in their skates by allowing the tendon to flex slightly back. But one of the issues that was featured on the older skate is that if we take a look at the construction over here, you can see that there's not much padding or support or strengthening around the back portion of this tendon, which means the more it flexed over time, the weaker and the more this top part of the tendon began to warp and bend out of shape quite easily. So what they've done with the newer one over here, you can see the construction on the MX3 is slightly different. They've added a lot more support to the construction of this back tendon to stop it from warping when it flexes back. And the amount it also flexes back on the MX3 has also been increased, giving you an even greater range of motion, which is going to definitely benefit those players that like to take advantage of their tight turns and agility on the ice. The whole idea of maximising on the range of motion on the ice is definitely important, because maximising on your range of motion will enhance your skating or stride power and overall efficiency on the ice. So these are things that definitely tie down to being very, very important for any hockey player, meaning that you're going to be able to have a lot more energy during your shifts, but most importantly, because of this free flex tendon, you're going to be able to hit those corners much, much harder. From there, taking a look at the area of the skate that I like to call the neck, which is just this portion over here. Again, Bauer hasn't changed too much over here. You can see that both of these skates do feature the comfort edge, which is a bit of soft padding on the neck or the top of the skate over here to just give you a bit more comfort and alleviate any pressure at one point when you're taking sharp turns. So now taking a look at the inside of these skates. Both of them feature the Hydromax liner, which has been hydrophobically and antimicrobial treated, which means that it'll be able to fight bad odours, bacteria build up inside the skate, and it's incredibly great because it has low water absorption properties, which means that any water or moisture that enters the skate will be whipped away and out through the exhaust holes or perforations or holes that I showed you at the beginning of the video that were featured in the bottom of the outsole, which is really great. So it's going to be very, very comfortable. But what they've also gone ahead a step further and done is the Hydromax liner has the aniform fit padding around the inside of this boot, which means that your foot gets an incredibly great sort of custom and heel lock inside these boots. Around the ankle sections over here, there's a lot of padding, deep padding, especially after the skates have been baked. They're able to really contour to the shape of your foot and hold your foot in place, so there's no shuffling, bobbing up and down while you're inside these skates. It's a nice planted fit, meaning that you're going to be able to have a great responsive skate and move nice and effectively and efficiently on the ice, which is definitely good to see. In terms of what they've changed from the NXGs to the MX3s, the liners are exactly the same, but what they have gone ahead and added that you might be able to see just over here is a nice sort of a high wear patch over here. So what this will do is that while you are skating quite aggressively, going backwards and forwards using these skates for some time, the tongue bobs back and forth. And what that does is slowly eat away at the inside padding of this skate over here. Any sort of constant rubbing that the skate gets on the liner will eventually eat away into the pad. So they've gone ahead and added that sort of extra bit of padding to prevent that from happening. You can see this isn't featured on these skates over here. If anyone watching this video has had the NXGs, open up your skates and take a look on the inside, and I'm sure you'll find this area over here is quite severe wearing. So it's good to see that they've gone ahead and addressed that issue by adding this over there. While we've got the skates open, it's a good idea to take a look at the tongues. You can see that they're both very, very similar. There's no difference in thickness of the tongues. They're both exactly the same. But we saw with the MX, the previous video that I did, which is the APX versus the APX2s, you saw that the tongue had been quite significantly changed. So it's good to see that they've kept a good construction over there. What I like to say, if it's not broke, don't fix it, which is exactly the same method that they've employed over here by keeping the tongues exactly the same. Also, taking a look at the sort of fit that you can expect to get with these skates, because this is a Supreme skate, you can expect in the toe box area to have a medium volume, also in the forefoot area medium volume, and by this back portion over here and by the heel and also the ankle, again medium. The Supreme line is notoriously known for having a slightly wider or more volume than the Vapor line, so if you have quite a wide foot, Supreme line are pretty good for you. If you have quite a narrow foot, perhaps look at the Vapor line, and I have videos for those down below in the video description. So last but not least, taking a look at the footbeds that you get in both these skates. You can see that with the NXG skates over here, it's a form-fit footbed that has these extra padded edges, just to give you a bit more comfort and to prevent the sides of your foot from knocking around inside the toe cap of the skate. Moving on to the one that you can find in the MX3, you can see that they've gone ahead and continued the same design over there. But if we go ahead and turn the footbeds over, you can see that Bauer again have continued to use the same construction in the footbed with the MX3s and the NXGs, with these composite channels that they add just to add a bit more stability and also to improve the energy transfer of these footbeds. So not a great deal has changed with these over here. And of course with these edges, if you don't like them, you can go ahead and simply just cut them off, but they're pretty nice and comfortable to use while you've got the skates on. So hopefully this video has given you the information that you might have needed to decide which one of these skates might be good for you, or if you're just looking for a bit of an update to see what Bauer have done to the new MX3 skate. If you want more information, there'll be a link down below in the video description, so you can follow it to Hockey Tutorial, where you can find a full-page article on the skates that we've just taken a look at now. And of course, if you want to pick them up, there'll also be a link down below in the video description to a store that you can go ahead and pick the skates up. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and take care till next time.